Imagine this. The founder king of Athens, Theseus, sets sail on a long voyage across the sea. Over time, the wooden planks of his ship begin to rot. One by one, each decaying plank is removed and replaced with a new, stronger piece of wood. The journey takes years. By the time Theseus finally returns home, every single plank of the original ship has been replaced. Now, here's the question. Is the same ship that returned the same ship that left? At first, it feels obvious. Yes, of course it's the same ship. It carries the same crew, it follows the same journey, it never stopped being the ship. But imagine a scuba diver finds every discarded plank at the bottom of the sea. He gathers them and rebuilds a ship using only the original materials. No new wood. Every plank is exactly as it was before. Now, there are two ships. One has continuity, the other has originality. So, which is the real ship of Theseus? Let's start with the most intuitive answer. The ship that returned is the real ship. Why? Because identity isn't about parts. It's about continuity. The ship never stopped being itself. It didn't disappear and reappear. It existed continuously through time. The replacements happened gradually. No single moment destroyed its identity. It's like a river. The water changes constantly, but the river remains the same river. From this view, identity is not static. It's a process. If we demand that something remain physically identical to stay the same thing, nothing would survive change. Not ships, not cities, not relationships, and definitely not you. Your body replaces most of its cells over time. Your beliefs shift. Your personality evolves. Yet you still say, I am me. Why? Because there's psychological continuity, memory, experience, and narrative. From this perspective, the rebuilt ship made from old planks is just a replica. It has the same materials, but not the same story. It didn't sail, it didn't endure storms, didn't carry Theseus home. So it looks like the ship, but it isn't. But now let's flip the argument. What if identity is the parts? What if replacing every plank actually destroys the original ship? Slowly, invisibly, without ceremony. Imagine a brand new sports team forms in a city. Over time, players start leaving. One quits, then another, then another. When a player leaves, a new player replaces an old one. The team keeps playing. The seasons continue. The crowd still cheers. Eventually, not a single original player remains. But imagine someone gathers every player who left, the ones that were there from the beginning. They reunite, same exact people, same roster that made the team what it was. They form another team together again. From this view, the reunited team is the real original because it is literally composed of the original individuals who made the team what it was, and the team that continued playing, that's just a successor that tricked you by changing slowly. Continuity doesn't preserve identity. It disguises its loss. Think about this. If someone replaced your brain, neuron by neuron, with identical artificial neurons, at what point would you disappear? Would you even notice? Would anyone? Or would you quietly end without anyone realizing it? If identity depends on physical substance, then gradual replacement doesn't save it. It just delays the funeral. Now, here's where it gets disturbing. What if neither ship is objectively the real one? What if identity isn't a property of objects at all, but something humans assign? We decide what counts as the same based on usefulness, language, and context. The ship that returned is socially the ship of Theseus. The ship rebuilt from planks is materially the ship of Theseus. Both are correct depending on what you care about. This means identity isn't discovered, it's negotiated. We don't ask, what is it really? We ask, what do we need it to be? And that should bother you, because it means identity has no fixed core. Now apply this to yourself. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. You have different beliefs, different priorities, different fears, different selves. Yet, you still call yourself you. Why? Because there's a story holding the versions together. But stories don't last forever. Trauma can fracture them. Identity crisis can tear them apart. Even growth can break them. And when that story collapses, people say, I don't recognize myself anymore. That isn't confusion. That's the ship of Theseus problem playing out inside your own mind. If every value changes, if your worldview collapses, if your identity is rebuilt plank by plank, are you still the same person, or are you simply the next version carrying the same name? But what if you've never had a fixed identity to begin with? What if the self was never essence, only continuity pretending to be one? A moving label, a narrative illusion, a ship that exists only because we keep pointing at it and saying, that's the one. If that's true, then identity isn't something you protect, it's something you perform. And when it changes, nothing sacred is lost, only a story ends. So which ship is real? Well, the answer could be both, neither, and whichever one you choose to live as. Identity isn't found, it isn't stored in parts, it isn't preserved by continuity, it's maintained by agreement, internal and external, because the real ship of Theseus was never the ship, it was the question.